We live in a world of hacking, cybercrime, and digital attacks. It affects us personally and professionally. And one of the main targets of cybercriminals are companies and organizations just like yours, which has a huge payoff if the effort is successful. That payoff means that criminals will benefit and you will suffer, even find yourself shut down for a time or even forever. That's the issue we're digging into today. And to do this, I'm pleased to welcome Bob Picard, the managing principal of Cyber Controls, LLC. Bob, welcome.
Thank you very much. Nice to be with you, Jeff.
Great to have you on this program. What an important topic, because we're all afraid of what can happen to us when it comes to electronics and the digital world. But Bob, ISSA is getting in front of these issues for its valued members, and we're doing it with a partnership with Cyber Controls, powered by Elpha Secure. Let's talk about the reality of the risk, though, that we're going to discuss today. Some of our member organizations are small, some are large. Some might say, as an organization, I'm small. No one's going to pay any attention to me. What would you say to that?
Well, Jeff, the answer to that is actually counterintuitive. I think most people would think that cyber criminals would try to focus on large corporations, universities, hospitals, government, wherever the stakes would be so high that they'd be able to bring in huge payoffs if they were successful. But in fact, that's just not true. The FBI, for example, has indicated that the cyber criminals now are pivoting away from the very large companies, more towards the small and mid-sized companies. And the reason they're doing this is actually fairly obvious. The very large organizations invest in having the personnel that are looking out to protect them from cybercrime. They invest in constant training, constant updating. Systems are constantly being updated. They invest a fortune in doing this because of the stakes, which is something that many small and mid-sized companies don't do. Perhaps the best evidence that, in fact, the pivot has been to the smaller and mid-sized company runs from a study that was done that shows that the employees of a small or mid-sized company are 350% more likely to have attempts made against those employees by phishing and other cyber attacks than in the larger companies. That's more than 3 times as many attacks against the employees of the smaller companies rather than the very large ones. And they're not only attacked that way, they're also attacked in ways that are unique and new as these cyber criminals keep morphing to deal with the opportunities. There's a new type of campaign they have called spray and pray campaigns. This is when they leash out an effort to try to get into the accounts of thousands of small, mid-sized businesses all at the same time through a sophisticated scanning technology, looking for common vulnerabilities and exposures. It's sort of similar to what the cat burglar does. When the cat burglar goes down your street and looks to see who's got their newspapers lying in the driveway, who's got mail falling out of the mailbox, they know they found the one. Well, these criminals are doing the same with their cyber intrusions. They throw out a net for 1,000. If they collect 2 or 3, that's it. And then they're able to do the damage that they do.
Bob, thank you for sharing those details. And great analogy of a cat burglar going down the street. We all know what they're looking for. So in the digital world, I guess it's important to know the same thing. What are they looking for? You shared what kind of companies are vulnerable. All of them, I guess, is the answer. But what kind of cyber crimes are we looking at here?
Well, the most common and probably the most concerning is ransomware, which is a topic that is very personal to me because one of my family members had his business subject to ransomware. One morning, he goes into his office, opens up his laptop, expecting to go to work, get access to everything that was on there the day before, pick up and get going. And instead, there's a black screen with a big logo in the middle and a very clear message. We are criminals. We have hacked into your systems. We now have full control over all of your data. And the only way you're going to get it back is to arrange a payment of $250,000. And here's how you do it. What a way to wake up in your office to have that there. Of course, he tried to access anything. He couldn't get into his financial records. He couldn't get into his personnel records. Couldn't get into all of his business accounts, his customer records. Couldn't get into his banking. He couldn't do anything from his full suite of IT technology that he had in his office. Couldn't get into anything because he was locked out. This started a more than 1 week process of trying to get through his insurance carrier, trying to get somebody to negotiate with these criminals, which has got its own suite of problems, in order to be able to pay a ransom, because that was the only way he was going to get back his business. At the end of the day, they were successful. They negotiated a deal, and the insurance company in his package of insurance picked up some of it, but at the end of the day, it still cost him out of pocket $150,000. So think about what happens to your members, Jeff, if they open up their computer one morning and find this. Their systems are frozen until a ransom is paid. They have no access to their employee records, and worse, their customer records. They have no access to financial systems, the ability to receive money, the ability to pay money. And while hopefully most of that exposure would be covered by insurance, and we'll talk more about that in a moment, there are still, as I said, substantial costs that are associated with this and that can cost the company dearly. If the negotiations are not successful, and there are occasions when this happens, you lose it all. You lose all those records, and they have them and they sell them on the dark web to bad actors who buy the records of employees, buy the records of banks, all of these things so that they can convert that into money. The consequence of that has been reported by the U.S. National Cybersecurity Alliance, which reports, and this is very important, 60% of all small and mid-sized businesses that suffer a cyber attack go out of business within 6 months. I find that to be an enormously sobering statistic. 60% go out of business within 6 months. And of course, ransomware is not the only one. Yes, there are bad actors out there doing other things as a consequence of employee negligence, sometimes disgruntled employees that open up your systems to intrusions, the poor use of the internet without protections that open up to intrusions, things called devil routers. There's accidental damage to your physical equipment that lets them in. There's invoice manipulation, wire fraud. There's no lack of creativity when it comes to the cyber criminals that are out there. And that's what we're here to help protect against for your members.
Yes, and those watching now know that we're offering a program to protect them. I know there's two different things. There's the protection, there's also the insurance. Can you speak to this new program that Cyber Controls is offering those members of ISSA?
Thanks, Jeff. Of course I can, and I'm excited to do it. And congratulations to ISSA for having the insight to offer this to this extremely vulnerable population of small and mid-sized members that you have. This program combines real-time automated protection, proactive protection against cybercrime through a software program that is installed right into your existing systems. Through our partner, Elpha Secure, a company which has developed a suite of the most amazing cyber protections, there's a proprietary cybersecurity software and other tools that are offered as part of this program, in addition to the fact that we also offer, through another partner of ours, Bolton Street Programs, insurance against cybercrime. No one else on the market is doing this. Unlike our competitors, Elpha owns its own tools. It provides them for free instead of referring your members to very expensive vendors who charge additionally for the service. And with that system in place, not only do you get the protection that there's someone looking out to protect you against cyber intrusion, but your members also have the cyber hygiene they need to get the underwriters to approve them for a really high quality insurance policy for cybercrime. Now, you at ISSA are now able to offer your members a combination of those two protections, both the protection on the one hand and the insurance on the other hand, at a price that is at or below the cost of insurance alone. And it provides valuable additional features that'll protect your members against cybercrime and the consequences of cybercrime. The active protection is provided by our partner, Elpha Secure. As I've said, with this very unique program that really works. It has a user-friendly platform to keep your clients safe and in control, data backups that are properly configured, automated update alerts if something goes wrong. Believe this one, a human being to interact with when help is needed, a straightforward program with absolutely no hidden fees, and Elpha Secure's programs are all automatically updated. You don't have to be worried about looking for the updates. It's done automatically. And especially for our ISSA members, an elite team to respond if the unfortunate happens, and sometimes these intrusions are successful. If that happens, they have together put a great team of some of the finest professionals who are able to help your members get through this without a problem. And that's the program.
Well, you had us at live human being to help. So that's good news, but great program. The nice details. Bob, those watching this might be thinking, all sounds good, but to do all this, to onboard, implement, get this done, has to be time consuming, difficult. What would you say to that?
No, it's not. In fact, quite to the contrary. It's so easy that it's almost ridiculous how easy it is. And we have developed with Elpha Secure in particular a concierge program of individuals who can handhold your members through the process if they find there's anything about the questionnaires they have to fill out, anything that they need to know to help them do this. It can be done literally in hours. The onboarding can be done sometimes the same day, more often within a day or two. You'll find that it is compatible with all of your personal electronic devices, with your laptops. If you're using Microsoft, if you're using Mac, it's all very, very compatible. And they have a history of being able to do this with true efficiency and making it very easy for your members to be able to become part of this program.
Bob, you talked about the protection to keep cyber criminals out, to protect your organization. You mentioned the insurance component of that as well. Is there more to share about that?
Well, sure. The protection is half of what you need. The other half is, like all insurance, in case what you hope will never happen somehow does happen. Through our other partner, Bolton Street programs, we're able to provide access, which is a combination together with Elpha Secure. Elpha Secure takes care of making your members' systems such that the underwriters are more than happy to take them on as an insured risk, and they will provide absolutely state-of-the-art, some of the best terms cyber insurance at various different levels. It's up to your members to choose which level they wish to be at, so that in the event that a cyber intrusion occurs and is successful, not only do they have at their hand instantaneous access to the assistance to get systems back up and running, to make sure that the criminals can't do anything more. Aside from all of that, there is insurance available to pay for all of this and to pay for the other costs within the amounts of coverage. And I'm very pleased to announce that because of ISSA's sponsorship and partnership of this program, we're able to offer this at 10% less than what we otherwise would be charging. We want your members to be part of this. We know that they're going to benefit, be protected by it, and we're doing everything we can to make it so that they can do so easily.
I hope they all do, because the thought of opening up your computer system to a message like that is hard to put a price figure on. It's a scary thought, and that's the world we live in today.
That's right.
Bob, any final words to share before we wrap up?
Well, first, again, thanks for this opportunity to share this with you and to share this with your members who are watching. Congratulations to ISSA for looking out for their members. Many of them probably don't think that this is a serious problem, maybe until they're watching this today. But the statistics speak otherwise. And again, congratulations for providing this protection to your members. And thanks for this opportunity.